Hi, this is Wen from Periodic Lab, and today I'm going to talk about the 7 things I've learned from 7 months of apartment gardening, a basic guide to plants. As with most hobbies, once I'm interested in learning about something, I maximize in quantity. I lack in moderation, but also consistency, so this year it was a surprise that I got into plants. So, let's get into it. 1. Plant care is inexpensive. It is generally easier to start with a fully grown plant. Those can average anywhere from 25 cents to $70, depending where you buy them and what kind of plant you get, and where and when you buy them. However, seeds are very inexpensive, from 50 cents to about $4 per pack of about 50 to 500 or more seeds for an average garden variety plant. Also, you can get pots for free. Home Depot, garden centers, and a lot of landscape centers have recycling centers for their customers. 95% of these are all free. And what you want to look for are the ones with no holes on the bottom, like these, as it'll be easier for indoor gardening. Number 2, you can create new plants by propagating from cuttings. So only certain plants can do this. For example, in herbs, there's rosemary, mint, basil, thyme, and sage. What you can do is take a fresh cutting and put it in water with leaves until it emerges with root. You can also find cutting from someone else who already has one and just use that to create a new plant. So this here, you see where I've cut right beneath here is from this basil plant, and I have actually propagated quite a couple from that plant. So this one is propagated cutting in hydroponics, and I find that actually propagated cuttings happen to do better than hydroponics with rock wool and also nutrient water. And as you can see, the root here is quite healthy and nice. This is all from a cutting, which is so useful to make new plants. So number 3, roots need to breathe and the light is the devil. So I used to compensate watering plants by overdoing it. I would think a plant would just take what it needs and store up the rest for later. Well, do we just eat 10 hamburgers in one sitting to replenish our nutritional needs for the next week? Of course not. It's the difference of us needing to drink water versus drowning in it. So make sure that your roots are healthy and white like these, and I will show you one that has root rot, which I transplanted it from soil that was suffocating it, so it's black and it's not doing very well. So the other thing that you will find with roots is that they do not like light. In hydroponics, you can easily tell that's the case. So number 4, if you can't see the roots, you can read the leaves and Google the symptoms. Basically, WebMD the situation. You can figure out why they are wilting, if there's too much water, if there's too much sun, based on the leaves. They will tell you what you need, and Google accordingly based on the plant. Number 5, basil are a great plant to start with. They are emotionally manipulative, but ultimately forgiving. I found this out the hard way. I got a Thai basil, kept good care of it for about 2 weeks, and then forgot about it for God knows how long. And then you notice that the leaves are wilting and it looks like it's dying. However, it has great bounce back. It gives you immediate feedback based on your care. So after it wilt, I added some water in it, and after about 1 to 2 hours, sometimes 4, the leaves will bounce back. If you are intent on keeping plants alive and learning how to do so, this plant will train you to do that. It is a cruel mistress, but definitely worth the time. So speaking of basil, the 6th thing I've learned is it's actually much easier to start with a plant you are planning to eat. So if you depend on it, you are more apt to take care of it. I love eating Thai basil, but living in South Dakota, not only can I not find it, they are really pricey. For most majority of recipes call for 1 to 2 cups of loose leaf basil, and for the price of about like $3 to $6 for that quantity, you can buy a fresh plant that gives you much higher yield, and you'll enjoy the process a lot more, especially if you're making have recipes set aside for this very purpose. So lastly, that leads me to number 7. This process really taught me the value of routine and self-care. It's hokey, but daily care is really rewarded through time. Growing seeds, seeing something grow based on your dependency and your observations, and a lot of trial and error. And it really reflects on what I want to do for myself as well. But when you see the results of that day to day habit, it really makes a difference. So I really love doing plants, and I'm really hoping to make this a lifelong thing. So what am I hoping to do next year? Well, there is a thing called a Master Gardeners program, and it is great because gives you an opportunity not only to learn about plants, but also an opportunity to teach through volunteering. And I always have a chance to learn more. So I also want a larger variety of plants, less basil, with a limited amount of space. And I find that really valuable in terms of apartment gardening. It is an interesting limitation, but ultimately challenging. So this is Wen from Periodic Lab, and those are the 7 things I've learned. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and I'll see you next time. Thanks!